Chat, what year were you born? Let me know in the comments. It seems like times are changing, you know? Seems like everything we thought we knew is coming to light, and it's not really what we thought it was. Let's get off into this.
I miss the days when I didn't know all this shit. I miss the days when I thought that the food and water were clean and perfectly healthy to eat.
Bro, I remember drinking water from a freaking hose. You know what I'm saying? You're thirsty on the street playing with the kids. You pull up that water hose, shove it in your gullet, and boom, there's your Gatorade.
I miss the days when I thought that money was real. I miss the days where I thought that politicians actually had our best interest in mind and there were smart adults in the room.
Bro, no, politicians are usually for profit. And then when I found out they just could print money at any time, I was like, wow, what I have is pretty worthless.
I miss the days when I didn't know about the absolute devastation that the United States has wrought on the planet through its foreign policy. But here's something that I think is true for all of us. Once you know all this stuff, there's no going back. There's no option to take the blue pill ever again. I'm stuck with this. I'm stuck with this urge to like at least talk about it, because if I keep all this bottled up, I'm gonna lose it. But I do still miss those days. It was a simpler time. It was a nicer time. It was a more peaceful time. And ever since, I have just really wanted to go back to that same sort of everything will be okay feeling.
I haven't been awake.
Bro, I'm telling you, ignorance is bliss, man. I remember when I was a kid, the only thing you had on your mind was what you were going to wear the next day at school, the girl you had a crush on, how you were going to be cutting up with your homies. Like, you really weren't worried about the political and economic state of the world, you know?
That long compared to most of the people. I would love to know, how long have you been awake for? And if you had one piece of advice for something that you've learned or something that would be helpful to someone who is just waking up now.
Who's done with this world?
All right, one piece of advice I'd say to anybody that's just waking up now, don't focus on it too much, because it'll eat you up, dude. It'll eat you up. It'll eat you up. So many people sit there and focus on the negative, the bad things that are happening, the things they're unhappy with. You know, well, this is going bad, this isn't going well. The things you focus on end up happening the most. So there's a ebook. I guess you could call it a audible book or whatever you want to call it. It's called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen on Spotify. Basically talks about how positive thoughts lead to positive actions, lead to positive outcomes, but negative thoughts lead to negative actions, lead to negative outcomes. So really how you think is going to dictate what your life is like. Life has become too expensive. Is this the new way of living?
Who's done with this world? Who's done with the script? We can feel it's coming to a finale. Who is ready to check out? Who's ready to just hop on van life and get the hell out of here? Have those people figured something out that we haven't, that they can just disconnect, walk away from it?
Bro, I don't know about you guys. When we were younger, chat, you remember when we were younger and people would be like, I live in a van down by the river. Chris Farley's kid. You hear about people living in vans down by the river, and now like the oasis is people living in a van down by the river. You know, like we've reached a point of full circle moment here where people that live in a van down by the river are living the good life.
And yeah, it's tough, I bet, but whether they did it out of need or want, shit, it's kind of biblical. Like, nomadic life has been in the Bible, it's been there for eons, but is the way we're living really that good? It's like they feed us all these creature comforts just to get us to comply and to be submissive to everything. I mean, we shouldn't be struggling paycheck to paycheck, no matter what. And the freaking
80% of people live paycheck to paycheck, which is crazy to me.
Housing prices just to live, the rent. I mean, come on. You can't live and just pay everything. You just worked all day just to pay everything into it for a box. I'm ready to get 4 wheels and decorate it for a couple of bucks. Just get the hell out of Dodge. I'm kind of done with all of this world and jobs.
Well, then also, dude, what seems to have happened is the fact that they broke up the nuclear family so they could get more people in their own home, so they could get more people paying their own electric, their own water, their own rent, as opposed to living with a nuclear family and living with everyone together where, you know, you guys are all splitting the bills. So we're spreading people apart so people can pay more bills individually.
Yeah, anything. What the fuck is happening?
Man, I've gotten to the point where I can't talk to any of my friends anymore. I can barely even speak to my own family because everybody's still just so blind to what's going on. And then when I talk about any of it, I'm crazy. Like, I'm trying to explain to my sister how some of the stuff that she's letting my niece, her daughter, listen to is terrible. And they're like, oh, well, it's the edited version. It doesn't matter, as even if the word is taken out of it, the rest of it is still there. The meaning of it is still there. The doctrination is still in the song. And when I pointed out, I'm a nutcase. I'm losing my mind. I am on TikTok too much. That's what they say. But then 5 minutes later, they'll be spewing some shit that came from the news that's completely misinformation, such that you could easily figure it out yourself within 5 to 10 minutes of just actually doing a deep dive research. But I'm the one that's stupid, I'm the one that's brainwashed, and I'm the one that's losing it. It's true. It's not hard to brainwash people. It's hard to get them to realize they've been brainwashed.
Oh, yeah.
They won't accept it.
Oh, 100%. Well, the news has done a great job. People want to say, you have TikTok brain. Well, you got news brain. It's the same thing. It's just a different medium.
You realize it's a psyop, right? You realize that the things that you read and the things that they're showing you and the way that they're positioning things is to put you into an emotional state so that you're easier to control,
yes.
Right? You know that, right? You know that, like, they're conditioning you to think that the thoughts that you think are your own, but really they're just the thoughts that they want you to think based on the propaganda that they show you and the headline that they post. Like, you know this, right? Like, you know that majority of your emotionally charged ideas that you fight for on social media, pretending that the other people are your enemy, you know that that's all made up, right? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I cannot be the only one that...
Bro, it happens so much, bro. That's why there's so many of the crazy leftists that think they're so much higher on the humanitarian, hierarchy, where they're like, I'm an empath. I'm really like a really good person, and you're not a good person if you don't care. Immigrants, no one's an immigrant on stolen land. Well, then give up your house then. Let them move in with you, dude. That's what I say. Let them move in with you, bro. If that's what you really think. Who else feels like you're seeing things differently than people around you?
I'll be the only one that feels like everyone around you is sleepwalking and you're awake. But you can't like yell at them to wake them up, and you can't shake them, but they're all about to walk off the cliff.
I've heard people say The Matrix isn't a movie, it was a documentary.
And you're just like, should I let them walk off the cliff? Or should I shake them and try to wake them up?
Well, it's blind ignorance. A lot of people, ignorance is bliss, man. There's so many people that are happy doing what they're doing, going to their 9 to 5, working. And that's cool. Dude, I'll be honest. I like just being able to do my thing and live life with my family. Because the thing is you start reading into this stuff too much, it can consume you and overwhelm you and give you just a sense of doom. I believe part of life is to enjoy it. Being too educated sometimes is too much. That's why I'm always happy that I'm a little dumb.
Stupid.
Take something from me. Being a little stupid's okay. Being a little stupid is okay. Shane Gillis has talked about this, but he's like, you've never met a Down syndrome person who's like depressed and sad. They're always happy. Super happy to see you. Super happy to do any activity with you. They're just elated all the time. But then you meet somebody who's hyper intelligent and they're depressed. And they're in dark times all the time. They overthink. They overanalyze because they're overstimulated. Like when you have a simple mindset, you can be very, very happy. As opposed to somebody that's, extremely intelligent. They're always anxious and overthinking and overstimulated and have a ton of anxiety. Everybody that I've ever met that has a lot of anxiety that's like depressed usually is very smart.
I can't be the only one that feels like that. I feel like there's others that are awake too, but they're nowhere around me. But everybody else is just like walking in a circle asleep. Anybody else feel like that?
We're at a crossroads, you guys. We're at one of the biggest crossroads that humanity has ever experienced, at least in my lifetime, but I'm pretty sure everybody feels it. I'm not the only one. And it's really challenging. It's really challenging because on one hand, you guys, I consider myself to be a pretty positive person. I'm practical, but I've been presented with things in my life that has made me have to go within a lot and use the tools within myself to really try to navigate this whole thing. You know, like this year has made me like, I don't really want to listen to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a couple things to this. This is where the first part of that, you have to kind of learn how to live in the confines of society. You have to learn how to play the game and dance with the motions and go with the rhythm of what's going on. Corporate America, especially if you have a job, you work for someone else. Even with me, on YouTube, there's certain things I can and cannot say. You got to kind of dance around. Now, I can pretty much talk about anything, but I can't, you can't incite violence. You can't put, racism towards certain groups. You can't push hate towards certain groups. So you got to be careful. Like, I may make fun of people, but I never say like, so-and-so's the devil, they're terrible, like we should hurt them. I never will say that. And that's because I honestly truly believe that, but I think it's also on par with YouTube's TOS, their terms of service. So the other half of this, what she said something that sparked it.
It's made me like, I don't really want to listen to anybody else.
Okay. She doesn't want to listen to anybody else. This is why I think the creator economy is going to be over $1 billion industry. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. I feel like people are gravitating more towards creators than they are than news. People would much rather listen to guys like me, Fresh and Fit, the Whatever Podcast, Andrew Wilson, Jack Morgan, other creators, Osmond Gold, Cash Jordan, these guys that align with their beliefs but kind of speak freely, as opposed to a news network that has to stick to a script. I think people are gravitating more towards that. That's why I think the news is dying. CNN's dying, their viewership's dying, and creators are getting more and more views because people want independent media. They don't want something that's controlled and bought.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think on one hand, as a collective, we call bullshit. Like everything's bullshit. Like, everything's backwards, everything's upside down, everything is as it seems. Okay? We've been presented with it. At the same time, we've always been presented with it. You know what I'm saying? But something is in the air that is like knocking at your door. It's like knocking on your spirit, being like, yo, hello, something's wrong here. And I'm proud of us for not overreacting in a way that I think this establishment is actually wanting us to do. Like, I think maybe on one hand, we're pretty tired. We're pretty zapped. We've been working and trying.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm so sick of the 40-hour work week. I don't think people should have to work 40 hours. I went and spoke at my old high school, Paris High School, last week, willingly, too. It wasn't something that I was asked to do. I went and asked to do it, which I don't know about you guys, but if you go speak in front of a bunch of Gen Z kids, it's brutal. It was a humbling experience because those kids could care less about what I got to say, bro. They did not care. They did not care. They could care less. Oh, you're a YouTuber. And I really thought, and I was speaking specifically to a media class of kids that I was like, okay, these kids will actually resonate with my message. They'll resonate with wanting to be a content creator. Only a couple of them wanted to be content creators. The rest of them were like, I want to be an accountant. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a psychologist. I want to be a therapist. I was like, wow, okay. I thought every kid wanted to be a content creator. Guess not. That generation of kid, though, Gen Z, they are such in the consumption side of things, and they don't create. Almost none of them wanted to create anything. They only wanted to consume. When I asked them, raise your hands if you want to be a creator, it was like this. But when I was like, raise your hand if you consume content, it was like this. Every kid's like, oh, me. I watched this person. Like, they all consumed a ton of content, but none of them created. And I think that's a big problem with the younger generation is we don't let these kids be bored anymore. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. When I was a kid, dude, my mom was like, only boring people get bored. And I feel like it was okay when I was younger to be bored because then you would go out and be creative and think of things to do. So you weren't bored. I was poor. I didn't have the means to be like, we're going to go to Colorado on a skiing trip. That wasn't an option for your boy. We're going to go get nice bicycles and skate. That wasn't an option for your boy. You know what I got? I got the Walmart skateboard. I got the Walmart Mongoose bike, which that was a very nice bike, which was later stolen because I lived in the hood. And then I also had rollerblades, which were from Walmart. And I would rollerblade, I would skateboard, I would ride my bike, and that's just what I did. That's what we did as kids. We were out. My mom said, come home when the street lights come on, and that was what it was. I played Game Boy when I could. Then when I hit like 14, 15, I was playing Halo every day religiously, every single day. Constantly sitting inside, playing Halo with a headset on, glued. My mom would bring me dinner in my room. I was trying to go pro. Needless to say, I didn't never go pro. I never went pro in Halo. I did get second place, however, in a Blockbuster tournament in Paris. Second place, right here, your boy, silver medal.
Achieve and trying to, getting to this place where life is actually multi-layered. It's
Yeah, of course.
Shift going on right now, right? And I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it pulsating through me. Like, I don't know what the future holds for this reality and how long it has, but it's definitely crumbling. You know that saying, like, your body feels it before you like really see it. That's how I'm experiencing it, bro. All of this shit is about to crumble. You feel me? All of this shit is becoming more and more fake, more and more noticeable. Right? I can see that people are starting to awaken in so many different little ways. Defying the laws of this fake society.
Loki could care less, dude.
Right? Revolution is happening, even though it doesn't look like it. And I was like, yo, I'm saying to myself, like, is it just me? Is it just me that's like feeling this shit? Like, I'm feeling this big ass collective shift, or am I tripping? Like, is it just me for real? Or does other people feel this shit too? Like, they just sitting and you just like feeling.
I think the big thing is as you get older, you can kind of, see the forest through the trees. But when you're young, you're just in that forest and you can't see the forest through the trees. You're lost in it. And you think that the things happening a foot in front of you is how the world really is. But then when you get a little bit older, you can get that 30,000 foot view of really what's going on. And it's kind of scary because you start to realize that realization that no one's saving you, number one. But number two is that it's happening at an alarming rate. And it happens pretty quickly. And there's really nothing you can do besides be knowledgeable of it and then try to move with the tides.
Like, yo, something is coming, bro. Something is coming. And it's transforming through me. Like, it's speaking to me right now. Like, and it can sound crazy, but it's really not. It's not at all. You'll never feel shit for no reason for it. And you can go through all of the thoughts in the world, like, yo, what if it's not this? Or what if it's this? What if I'm just tripping like this? Or but when it really comes down to it, man, I ain't in no psychosis, man. I know how this shit works, and I also know how nature works, right? And how this is a pattern throughout history of when a nation falls, right? And when a time falls, right? Like I said, like how nature works, evolution and devolution, we've been de-evolving for so long.
Well, yeah. Well, and then I talked to my buddy. I was in my hometown when I spoke at my high school. And we were talking about the Roman Empire. And he knows a ton about the Roman Empire and what happened and why it collapsed and how, like, liberalism was kind of to the aid of that. And it was pretty crazy to see. I was like, well, what do you think's going to happen next? Where do you think we're headed? And he's like, well, with a hyper feminization of society, I'm paraphrasing here, but with a hyper feminization of society, we start to lead more with like an empathy being the center of how we make all decisions. So, like, who cares the most, right? The people that care the most, and the people that complain are really the only ones that are heard. Have you ever noticed, like, with HR, and he talked about this, like with HR, the only time something matters is when somebody complains about it. Like, if somebody doesn't complain about it, it's never a problem. But if somebody starts complaining about it, now it's a problem. So he said it's always the people that complain are the ones that get to dictate where we move and where we go. And so now we have a society where more and more people can be comfortable because you can all work, you can have your own place, but you can complain more because we have the magnification of social media and the internet. So you can sit there at home, record yourself complaining about something, and 50,000 people can see it, 100,000 people can see it. Whereas back in the day, you had to be around other people complaining about it to spread this message of, like, aren't you mad about this? Now we can radicalize people being siloed and being solo, which is the scary part, because you can radicalize people that are alone as opposed to radicalizing people in a group. In a group, it's a little bit harder because you got to say it to one person, this other person's got to say it to this person, and then you got to spread that. But now you can radicalize these people, and the algorithms can radicalize people because it just has them all looking at the same content. Like, if you ever notice, if you like one or two videos on Instagram or TikTok, you start to see more of those videos. You follow a person, you start to see more of those types of videos. So it's no coincidence there. The algorithms are built to give you what you want. And so I just looked up, did liberalism kill the Roman Empire? It says, no, not modern liberalism did not kill the Roman Empire. The fall of the Western Roman Empire was a complex, century-long process driven by military overreach, severe economic crisis, political instability, and massive barbarian invasions. While some argue the late-stage shifts in cultural values or overexpansion weakened the state, but the idea of liberalism as a cause is historically inaccurate. He told me that the reason Caesar, they like killed Caesars because there was like these agreements where you wouldn't invade certain areas, and he was like, yeah, buck that, I'm invading you guys, because they were trying to like hold an election without him being there because he was on like a conquest or something like that. And so he's like, no, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna invade you anyways. Like some of the stuff he told me was really fascinating about the Roman Empire. This stuff is making me question my reality and what I'm a part of.
I gotta work tomorrow, and that really is not sitting well with me right now. You know, knowing that my time, my energy, my labor is clearly being used for what? To build and maintain and operate what kind of nation? I don't need to say it, but you know, I'm forced.
A liberal psychotic nation?
You're forced to contribute to this vile, demonic, monstrous machine,
But in reality, I think most people are conservative. Put a 1 in the chat if you're conservative. Put a 1 in the chat if you're like more liberal. Or put a 2 in the chat if you're more liberal. 1 in the chat for conservative, 2 in the chat for more liberal. I feel like more and more people are conservative. The problem is that we see an amplification of all the people that are liberal, and we think, oh my God, a lot of people think that way. Most people voted for Trump. Most people are conservative in this country.
Other option is to willingly be part of it, to become a business owner, and then be trapped. It's just a larger cog in a vile, demonic machine. Because we all feel powerless. Because that's what we're deep in our subconscious. We know that we're powerless. Right now, what we are born into, what we are forced to contribute to, ultimately we are powerless unless the whole system comes down. This literal system that is clearly owned, operated, structured by very dark demonic forces for sinister purposes. We are part of this machine, and we now are awakened to it. And what are we going to do? We're just going to keep it going? So now we are in major conflict. As a society, aren't we? It goes so high, and these tendrils, these tentacles of this vile demonic machine is in every facet of our society. Oh my God.
All right, here's my conspiracy theory for this episode. So I believe that all the pharmaceutical companies, the medical industry, and the food industry work in a trifecta, kind of like the Illuminati, right? And it's designed so that the food get you fat and sick, so then you have to go to the doctor, and then the doctor can prescribe you pharmaceuticals that never fix the problem. They just kind of help you kind of stay healthy for a little bit. So it's like the food makes you sick, the doctors prescribe medication, and then you go back and you still eat the same food. It's just a trifecta of just sickness, you know? So, yeah, that's just what it is, dude. That's what it is. So it's truly sad, but you know, what is this? This is okay. We're gonna switch gears. This is the weirdest interaction you'll ever see between a stylist and a client. Nothing about this is normal.
So like a queer alt mullet. Yeah.
A queer alt mullet. What the fart is that? Shabbing the sides of your head? Big back, big back. No haircut's gonna make you feel better.
Almost like a mullet.
My pronouns are he, him. You're a woman, dude.
But it's just a lot more full. Some layering or something to get a little messier. Man.
What the fart?
Do you want to shave all of this back through here? All the way down to skin? Yeah.
Oh, God.
We want these little bits.
What the fart is that cut?
Kind of like blunt square at the ends of the bangs, kind of like a long, like almost vampire fang.
So blunt, tip, tip.
Yes.
When we go in and we do this like mullet, all this gets really short. I love it.
What? Dude, what is that cut, bro? Just get a regular cut. just get a regular cut, bro. Oh my God, what is this? This Minneapolis woman seems perfectly stable and totally normal.
Hi, I'm a resident of Minneapolis, and every day I wake up, there's a new fucking horror to be had. And today, like, just while you're fucking scrolling on any of the shit that used to enjoy your day before, like, I can't, because I'm in the counties that are affected by it for banking and like wire transfers. I now can't like receiver like send out transfers for fucking money for my small business? Okay, and then they're gonna fucking execute detainees they've had for a while. What else?
We live in a society now where this
Within the past week, I heard
is considered normal. And how I dress and how I look is considered insane. Isn't that wild, chat? Where, you know, the people with the septum rings are the normal ones and the guys that look like me and you are insane.
I told one of my customers that I was crying, and he paid me to watch, and I let him, because I don't give a fuck anymore.
He paid you to watch you cry. That is so creepy. I'm sorry, I'm crying. It's okay. Can I pay to watch? What the fart is that, bro?
How are these people still running this country? Our leaders are pedophiles. They enjoy raping children. What are we doing?
Jeez. Okay, honey. Chill out there. Chill out. It's okay. So chill out there. Okay. Chill out. So I don't really know what the... Oh my god. Somebody said she did it, chat. She defeated ICE.
That'll make you feel...
She defeated ICE, chat. She's doing it. Yeah. She's doing it. She defeated ICE. So name one thing that women created. 8 billion people. And y'all still needed a man's help.
Gotcha, bitch. One thing that women created. 8 billion people.
But you still needed a man's help, though.
I got 8 billion people in my balls, bitch.
Oh my god. I got 8 million in my balls. This is crazy. Lady sends... Caleb crashes out. Okay, this is a Caleb crash out. Gotta love these.
Oh, yeah.
Lady spends money on family pictures?
Okay, but I looked into it first. Like, it's a legit, like, photography company. They have multiple locations.
Yeah, so this is their marketing ploy to get you in to spend money.
I realize that now. I really value the pictures that we got. I really do.
How much did you spend on how many pictures?
So, yeah, hold on to your seat.
My credit card, I know that much.
Okay, I had to split it onto 2 cards. Framed pictures, and we also got all the digitals.
Okay, you have 3 framed pictures. How much did you spend?
Over 7,000.
Oh my god. Chat, here's what you do. Take pictures with your iPhone. Put it into Chat GPT and say, make this look professional with dynamic lighting. That's all you do. Take a regular picture, say, make this look professional with dynamic lighting. Let's see if I can even do it right now. I'll find a regular picture. Here we go. Let's just see if I can't do this right now. It's not that hard, dude. It's not that hard. Let's see if I can't find a picture of myself. I think I have one here. Let's see here. I've done this multiple. I did it with a picture of Loki. I've done it with pictures of Cass. I've done it with, you know. See if where's a good picture? Where's like a regular everyday schmecular pic? Okay, here we go. Faces. We'll take this picture right here. Where's me just looking at the camera, looking regular schmeg. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go, chat. And I'll even let you watch it. You know, make this look professional with dynamic lighting. It may take a second. There's the picture, right? That's just me. That's just your boy, you know, looking sexy, you know, big sexy right there. But only thing I don't like about ChatGPT is it will kind of mess your face up just a little. It's not going to make you look exactly the same. So it's like, I think it's part of their prompt though, that like they won't allow that completely. But there's the reference picture. And if you type in some other things and say, like, don't change the face, make the face look the same, only change the background. You can get it to be to the point where it doesn't, you know, change anything. But yeah, make this look professional with dynamic lighting. Let's see what we get. Look at that. It does make me look a little bit different. That does not look exactly like me, but that's how you doctor up your pictures for free. $7 grand? You must be out of your mind. There's no way. $7,000, right, Lokes?
Won't they do?
But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's always good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.